The Senate and the House of Representatives commenced a debate on the 2020 budget a day after President Buhari submitted the budget to the National Assembly. Now, we saw some legislators argue for and against the assumptions in the budget, the increase in value-added tax, as well as the sectoral appropriations. The Senate and House of Representatives devoted 2 days during the week to debate the 2020 budget. This is after President Buhari submitted the 2020 budget of 10.330 trillion naira to the National Assembly on October 8th. Some of the key assumptions and expenditure in the budget include oil benchmark price of $57 per barrel, exchange rate of 305 naira per dollar, and daily oil production estimate of 2.18 million barrels per day. In the Senate, legislators seemed to be uncomfortable with some of these assumptions. Focus was also on the allocations to key sectors, while lawmakers were divided on the increase in value-added tax.
Last year, the average production level was 1.8 million barrels per day. Why won't we skip it there? Why must we go up to 2.1 only to be disappointed at the end of the day? Mr. President, I know that you have promised the executive that, oh, you're going to work very well with the executive to produce the budget. But I plead with my colleagues, look at the facts. You can't run away from facts. The facts say that this is not a sustainable budget.
We have to now really think out of the box from this chamber so that we can make the relevant laws that drive this economy in order for this economy to regenerate revenue. The moment we cannot generate revenue to reflate this economy and get a growth rate of at least about 10% per annum, this country is on the brink. We are always going there on the brink.
Most of these small business enterprises will be unable, Mr. President, to address this issue of 7.5% VAT. To that extent, we might not necessarily achieve the 2.93% GDP growth that is projected by Mr. President in this budget. That worries me. 7.5% for me is on the high side, and that it has exempted mostly food items.
There is no need to go on to establish new project when the critical project established has not been completed. In other words, we are just dancing. For instance, if we complete this project this year, then the other year we can start a new project. So they are there to say, well, look, let us stop and put a project, a new project in Mr. A, Mr. Project in the other zone where the other ones have not been completed. It's not a good thing for us, Mr. President. And I commend the VAT, that is the increase in VAT, I commend the increase in VAT. If it is going to be used for the good of the common man, because the VAT is for the rich.
This situation, for me, of increasing VAT is a shortcut to economic recovery. It smacks of intellectual laziness, and like all shortcuts, I don't think it will drive this country in the right and proper direction. Thank you. Number two, Mr. President. Number two, I believe that one of the immediate consequences of this VAT increase will be unemployment. Already a lot of our youths are caught in acute despondency. Once you get out of school and you do not find employment, your life speaks of hopelessness. We need to expand our economy.
We must supervise CBN and Ministry of Finance properly so that we can close all the loopholes in generating foreign exchange, because that is where it pays us most.
If I relate to the members of the House,
in the House of Representatives, lawmakers also questioned the increase in value-added tax as well as the revenue projections. Some legislators expressed concern over the allocation to some sectors which they consider key.
The only reservation my people have asked me to have about this budget is the fact that the sum allocated for debt servicing, which is 2.4 trillion,
is above the sum allocated for capital expenditure, which is about 2.1 trillion.
Now we realize in this country, if you are waiting for government to give you a job, you are wasting your time. It's better for government to provide a platform where jobs can be created. At the end of the day, you are not only a job seeker, you are not only a job holder, but you can as well become a job provider.
The idea of health budget. Health budget is 48 billion. Use 200 million Nigerians and divide 48 billion. It means 240 naira only per each citizen. How can we make progress in this circumstance?
If we say that we are the largest economy in Africa, it's not enough. I would want to see a situation whereby Nigerian budget for educational system should supersede other sectors and should not be compared with other countries of Africa.
Follow the motion, please say aye.
The 2020 appropriation bill eventually scaled second reading after 2 days of debate in the House of Representatives.
The ayes have it.
While the Senate is expected to continue debate on the budget on October 15, the House of Representatives has adjourned till 29 October for committees to carry out budget defense for different ministries, departments and agencies. The World Teachers' Day is celebrated on October 5th annually. Now, the House of Representatives marked this year's World Teachers' Day by honoring the winners of the Best Teacher and Principal of the Year, named by the Nigeria Union of Teachers. According to the House, the decision to recognize and honor the best winners is a sign of appreciation and to show support to the teachers for their selfless sacrifices towards societal development.
Let's allow the women to...
On the final plenary of the week under review, just before returning to the budget debate from the previous day, the House of Representatives received the winner of the Best Teacher Award by the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Agnes Elushaki. Mrs. Elushaki was invited along with the winner of the Best School Administrator, Pius Edusami, to be publicly appreciated and honored by the lawmakers. But Mr. Edusami was absent. One after the other, the lawmakers showered encomiums on her for contributing to the education sector and the country in general.
I stand up here with all the confidence to speak and to congratulate my fellow women for making us proud, because I am a woman, I am involved. And I know for you to be here today, you have worked 10 times more than all the men in Nigeria. I know what I'm saying. And like the speaker just said now, that I blackmailed him into allowing me to speak. That's just one of it. Women, you have to work very hard to be where you are. So we congratulate you.
Seeing them having distinguished themselves in the area of teaching, that is not easy. Mr. Speaker, one, they are poorly paid. In Nigeria especially, teachers are poorly paid. But in spite of their poor payment, they still find time to have passion to impart in us what God has bestowed upon them. And for that reason, I thank them.
The session was wrapped up by the Speaker, who seized the moment to speak on the need to improve on the education budget.
Thank our teachers all around, but particularly to thank the winner of the Best Teacher Award and the principal for your commitment to education, your commitment to our students, and your untiring efforts to ensure, in spite of all the difficulties, that the future of this nation is guaranteed through your education and your commitment and dedication. You are indeed high achievers. Many say that your reward is in heaven. I believe your reward should start here on earth and then it continues when you get to heaven. I want to thank you once again on behalf of everybody. They say law is a noble profession, but I believe teaching is the noblest of all professions.
Now, this is where we draw the curtains for this week's edition of The Gavel. If you have any views on any of the issues discussed, please email us on thegavil@channelstv.com. Thank you for staying with us and see you again next week.